You need to hear this, because most people never see it approaching. The exact moment you stopped pursuing them, they noticed. But they did not notice with relief. They did not notice with casual indifference. No, they noticed with a sudden, deeply unsettling clarity that shakes their private thoughts all the way to the core. When you stop chasing, the world around you does not just shift in small ways. The person you once pursued begins a quiet, unseen process of unraveling from the inside out. And this is where things become truly dangerous for them. Welcome to Deep Dive Psychology. Today, we are exploring the profound psychological chaos that happens when you finally walk away. But first, let me tell you a short story about a man named James. For nearly a year, James was the one keeping the connection alive. He initiated the messages, he made the plans, and he freely offered his attention to a woman who gave him nothing but breadcrumbs in return. She loved the dynamic. She felt secure, knowing James was always waiting on standby. Her ego was constantly fed by his pursuit. But one morning, James woke up, realized the value of his own time, and simply stopped. He didn't block her. He didn't send an angry, emotional paragraph explaining his feelings. He just withdrew his energy entirely. For the first few days, she felt victorious. She assumed he was just playing a game. But by week 2, the silence became deafening. She found herself obsessively checking her phone, analyzing his social media, and questioning her entire reality. Why? Because James's absence removed the mirror that made her feel important. And suddenly, she was left completely alone with herself. When you stop chasing, they sense an empty space where your attention and energy once existed. It is a space they never fully realized was there. But now, that space feels vast, dark, and entirely exposed. They are not accustomed to dealing with such silence. So, they begin to panic without fully understanding why. Your absence is not really absence in their mind. It acts as a mirror. It forces them to look at things they never wanted to face about themselves. Deep down, they realize that their sense of power and influence over you has suddenly disappeared. And what happens when the feeling of control vanishes? Their inner world grows restless. It becomes desperate in ways they cannot easily explain to their friends. The uncomfortable truths they avoid during the day return to haunt them late at night. They begin to wonder, did they want you for who you truly were? Or just for how you made them feel superior? Now that you are no longer there to feed their ego, that false image begins to crumble. Their mind feels split between what they hope for and what they fear. That inner conflict drives them toward a kind of quiet chaos. They start imagining your life moving forward without them. Every laugh you share with someone else. Every smile you offer to the world. Every single moment you spend not thinking about them starts to affect them in a silent but incredibly powerful way. And here comes the part that surprises many people. It is not only longing they feel. It is anger, mixed with fear, and a heavy guilt that they cannot sort through properly. Most people try to escape this discomfort. They act as though it does not exist. But you have brought their insecurities into the open simply by stepping back. Simply by creating distance and allowing them to sit with the emptiness they were entirely unprepared for. Something deep and primal awakens inside them. That inner voice, which remained silent while you were chasing them, now becomes deafening. It tells them they cannot lose you. It tells them they cannot let you go this easily. They start remembering every conversation, every message, every brief glance and small moment you shared. They search their memories for the exact point where they might be able to draw you back into their orbit. Because the human mind hates loose ends and uncertainty more than almost anything else. And by walking away, you have created the ultimate form of uncertainty. You might believe that your silence feels peaceful and your absence causes no real disruption. But absence, when used in the right way, becomes one of the strongest psychological forces imaginable. The moment they realize they can no longer make you chase them, is the moment their outer image starts to fracture. All the things they buried and denied for years begin rising to the surface. The calm, composed person you saw on the outside is no longer who they recognize in themselves. Absence feels far more frightening than direct rejection. Rejection has a clear shape. You can see it, understand it, and eventually move on from it. But absence? Absence feels like complete disorder. It is a massive, open space where their deepest fears are free to paint whatever picture they want. They begin noticing every small detail they overlooked before. Every delayed reply, every withdrawal of your attention lands on their inner world like a heavy, physical blow. Their pride struggles to tolerate this unclear situation. They start questioning their own decisions. Did I judge them unfairly? Did I push too hard? Did I fail to appreciate them when I had the opportunity? Every hidden doubt rises like an old ghost. Their subconscious mind begins forming plans without asking their conscious thoughts for permission. They swing back and forth between two different realities. One where they desperately want your attention, and another where they are terrified of how strongly they feel about you. One where they long to reconnect, and another where they feel deeply ashamed of needing you so much. And here is the strange twist in all of this. You did almost nothing. You simply stopped chasing them. Yet by doing so little, you awakened the deepest, most hidden parts of their mind. The parts they feel too embarrassed to admit even to themselves. The parts that whisper they feel weak, that they are not enough, and that they desperately want something they can no longer easily reach. The longer you remain absent, the stronger their internal disorder becomes. The more they watch you from a distance, the more they understand something they spent a long time avoiding. Your attention was never guaranteed. Your presence was never permanent. They measure the value of what they lost only after it is no longer within easy reach. Walking away is the ultimate form of confrontation. Silence is the strongest statement you can make. When the chase ends, the real story begins. By stepping back, you place them in front of the most unforgiving mirror imaginable: their own mind. They are forced to finally realize the truth. You were never theirs to possess. You were never theirs to control. And you were never theirs to chase endlessly. If this psychological deep dive opened your eyes, make sure you subscribe to Deep Dive Psychology and hit the notification bell. We uncover the hidden truths of the human mind every single week. Stay strong. Protect your energy. And never chase what is not freely given. I will see you in the next video.